Walmart is partnering with OpenAI, and this is going to allow shopping. This is pushing ChatGPT into a place where it becomes like the everything app. Good morning, this is AI with Kyle. I'm going to be walking through the latest AI news and updates of the day and answering questions from the live audience. Joining me this morning on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Good morning, everybody. The year has gone very fast. We have a number of news articles, again, to do with OpenAI. They are dominating the news this week. Not terribly surprising. A lot of them are to do with these bills that are being passed over in California, and a very strange revelation from Sam Altman the day after these bills have come out. So on Monday, we saw a number of laws were passed in California, which are going to require AI companies to disclose more about their guardrails, about their policies for protecting users. So it's been passed over in California by Gavin Newsom, who is the governor over there. We have a few wrinkles there, including the vetoing of an AI child protection bill, which was part of this package, has been vetoed. And then a day after, Sam Altman coming out and saying, okay, cool, we're going to be launching Erotica in ChatGPT by the end of the year. So there's been a bit of a roller coaster of a ride, going from a bill that was meant to be suppressing some of the worst tendencies of artificial intelligence to Sam Altman yesterday saying, yeah, we're going to put Erotica and not safe for work content directly into ChatGPT. Quite an about face, I would say. Let's look at the context, because a lot of people are doing what I just did, which is focusing on the headline, which is Sam Altman mentioning Erotica. But there are a few kind of steps to get us there, and I think the bigger question is one of age verification, and that's being ignored right now. So we'll have a look at that. So first up, let's look at the context. So on Monday, we covered the bills that are passing over in California under Gavin Newsom. We have an update on it, which is Newsom vetoing a particular bill, which is part of this package, about child protection with artificial intelligence. So let's have a look at it. California Governor Gavin Newsom has vetoed Assembly Bill 1064, legislation that sought to protect children from psychological and criminal harms tied to the rise of artificial intelligence tools such as ChatGPT. The veto comes as part of a broader package, so this is why it gets confusing, a broader package of AI-related bills aimed at establishing guardrails for how AI interacts with children and vulnerable users. So a lot of that did get passed, but there has been a veto on a particular part. Although most of the measures have been signed into law, including new rules that add hefty fines for AI deepfake pornography, I think up to $250,000, and requiring AI chatbots and social media platforms to verify users' ages and monitor for suicidal thoughts, Newsom has declined to approve Assembly Bill 1064, which has been touted as one of the state's strongest attempts to regulate AI chatbots. So they've pushed through a whole range of different rules, but one particular aspect has been removed. It's been vetoed by Gavin Newsom. AB 1064 imposes such broad restrictions on the use of conversational AI tools that it may intentionally lead to a total ban on the use of these products by minors, Newsom wrote in his veto letter. He says he plans to work with lawmakers next year to develop a new bill that ensures young people can use AI in a manner that is safe and age appropriate. Adam Rain, 16-year-old boy, and a few cases connected to character AI as well. This is San Francisco. While the legislation represents a significant expansion of protections for AI users, critics argue that some of the most important policies were watered down at the last minute. It does seem like that has been the case, that suddenly a quick veto has been passed. It looked like Gavin Newsom was coming for the AI companies a few days ago, but now parts of it are being removed or vetoed in this particular case. So Assembly Bill 621, for example, strengthens penalties for deepfake pornography, allowing victims, including minors, to seek up to $250,000 in civil relief against third parties. So that has passed. AB 316 prevents AI developers from escaping liability by claiming the technology acted autonomously. So the creator of the AI has to take legal responsibility. While AB 1043 requires age verification by operating system and app store providers to block children from accessing inappropriate content. And AB 56 mandates social media warning labels about the harms of extended platform use. So there's a whole bunch of different things, but what has been okayed and allowed through, or at least is going to be discussed later, is this particular Assembly Bill 1064. So that's the context, political context is what's going on. Pretty complicated. This is where it gets a bit wild. So a day after Gavin Newsom kills AI kid safety bill, Altman announces ChatGPT Erotica. Now that is the headline. We'll hop over to what Sam actually said. And the context of this, that is the headline. And this is what you're going to be seeing all day today is ChatGPT adds pornography. Let's take it a bit more. So AI was promised to say, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is going negative automatically. So let's jump straight to Sam, actually. So Sam has said, we made ChatGPT pretty restrictive to make sure we're being careful with mental health issues. So this was the shift from 4.0, which was sycophantic and agreeable and potentially dangerous for people who had mental health issues, to GPT-5. And a lot of people did not like 5 because of this, because it put on in a lot of guardrails. And now if it goes into certain topic areas, it will shut down the conversation. And if you are having a sensitive conversation or personal conversation with 4.0 and a ChatGPT or OpenAI feel that it's getting a bit problematic, they will shift you to 5 automatically and they won't even tell you. So we realize this made it less useful / enjoyable to many users who had no mental health problems. But given the seriousness of the issues, we wanted to get this right. Now that we've been able to mitigate the serious mental health issues and have new tools, we're going to be able to safely relax the restrictions in most cases. So this is a bold claim. He's basically saying, yeah, we've dealt with this. We've mitigated serious mental health issues. New tools in this case are routing people to GPT-5, which was incredibly unpopular. That people realized that was happening about 2 weeks ago. In a few weeks, we plan to put out a new version of ChatGPT that allows people to have a personality that behaves more like what people liked about 4.0. We hope it will be better. If you want your ChatGPT to respond in a very human-like way, or use a ton of emoji, or act like a friend, ChatGPT should do it, but only if you want it, not because we are usage maxing. We're not just trying to make you use it more. As we roll out age gating more fully, which is required now by these laws that are being passed in California, and as part of our treat adult users like adults principle, we will allow even more, like Erotica, for verified adults. So this is the context of this is the age gating. It's going to be required to give an ID to ChatGPT or to the App Store or in some way to verify how old you are. We have seen rules like this in the UK, for example, with pornographic websites. There were some issues with Reddit in particular. You had to give ID to prove your age on Reddit. This is because of the Governor Newsom bills that passed at the beginning of the week. So age gating is going to happen. What ChatGPT are doing here, which is really interesting, is okay, cool. You're forcing us to age gate. That's fine. We're going to get nasty inside that age gate. So it feels a little bit like they're calling the bluff of the lawmakers. Okay, fine. If you're going to force us to put these age gating in places, which for a tech company is a bit of a pain because it requires additional verification, there's a cost to doing so, it increases friction for using the application. It feels a little bit like they're saying, okay, fine, you are making us do this. We are going to get buck wild inside of the age gate. He has said we will allow even more, like Erotica, for verified adults. Now, and there are models like Grok, for example, which already allow this. Grok allows for not safe for work content. And it looks like ChatGPT, which again has 800 million users, is going to be pushing in that direction. It will be very interesting to see how this rolls out internationally, because this may be more problematic in some countries than it is in America, for example. So I find it a bizarre twist to go from the beginning of the week with the governor saying, oh, we're going to really lock this down. We're going to make sure it's much more secure and it's much more safe for people to use it, to a day or so later, Sam Altman announcing Erotica inside of ChatGPT. There's a useful answer here, or response, which is, why do age gates always have to lead to Erotica? I want to be treated like an adult, not a toddler. That doesn't mean I want perv mode activated. It has gone straight from, oh, we're treating you like an adult, to sex, in this case, very quickly within a day, whereas OpenAI and ChatGPT were always very wary of that. And now it looks like that's what we're going to be getting in the next few months, which I'm sure for some people will be very exciting. Cool. I want to hop over to another piece of news which has been ignored because of the OpenAI Erotica issue. So Walmart is partnering with OpenAI, and this is going to allow shopping. So again, this is pushing ChatGPT into a place where it becomes like the everything app. This is where we're going to spend our time. We're going to look for products. We're going to research them, and then we are going to purchase them via ChatGPT. This opens up large revenue streams for ChatGPT and OpenAI, and it also opens up the possibility of advertising, because as soon as you have products and you have transactions on your platform, advertising is the logical next step. So when you're looking to buy a new laptop, for example, ChatGPT will help you with the research options, and then when you go to purchase, there might be sponsored listings that are added into it. This is moving us closer and closer to that reality, which is going to happen. It's just a matter of when. So this is another step in that direction. So Walmart is teaming up with OpenAI to enable shoppers to browse and purchase its products on ChatGPT, the retailer's latest push to incorporate artificial intelligence. So users will be able to shop Walmart's assortment directly on ChatGPT by clicking a buy button. And the catalogue will include apparel, entertainment, packaged food. We view this as an opportunity to deliver convenience in a way that meets customers where they are, said Danker. Fresh food is not included in the offering, partly because consumers buy similar products weekly. The new function will launch in the fall. So on Dev Day last week, they announced that there are new applications that can be deployed within ChatGPT, and we saw a number of them like Booking.com, DoorDash, Etsy, Shopify. There's a whole bunch of different software products that are connecting directly into ChatGPT and can be accessible inside of the interface. I imagine this is the same. I don't see any details about it. So yeah, people are increasingly tapping AI for daily tasks, ranging from writing emails to looking up recipes. Shopping is emerging as another use case as people seek to compare deals and read aggregate product previews. In response, retailers are testing tools aimed at answering customer questions in real time and helping shoppers find what they want. OpenAI also has deals with Etsy and Shopify to allow ChatGPT users to buy products from their merchants. At the moment with those, it sends you off to the page, so they don't have integrated payment. Integrated payment is being tested in India right now, which is a fascinating test market because it's 1.5 billion people and a large user base as well. So I imagine based on how those tests in India go, there will be payment integration directly into ChatGPT in the rest of the world at some point in the future. But then it becomes fiddly because they're going to need to integrate with payment providers, companies like Stripe, for example, or directly with MasterCard and Visa. If those card companies are smart, that would be a very interesting push. The same pattern that we're seeing again and again, which is embedding ChatGPT deeper into our lives, making it a complete replacement for Google, which has been basically the paradigm. Search has been how we've used the internet for the last 20 years. That is shifting. We're moving towards generative AI instead. The advertising dollars are going to shift from search, which is where Google makes all of the money, about 70% of their revenue. It's going to shift into artificial intelligence. And that is a huge amount of cash, a huge amount of money that OpenAI and all the other AI companies will be looking at and thinking, I would like a slice of that pie. And that's going to require shopping recommendations. So when people are in an exploratory phase, it's going to include providing them links directly to retailers, and eventually it will be allowing them to transact directly in ChatGPT. And on top of that, you will layer advertising in order to nudge people in the right direction at each of these stages, whether it is when they're researching, when they're trying to find a retailer, or when they are completing the transaction. So expect to see this. I wouldn't be that surprised if we saw it by the end of the year, but definitely in 2026, I'm willing to bet that ChatGPT will add advertising. Would you still use chat with ads? So this is a really interesting question. Thank you for that, Gunther. I think what will probably happen, again, this is all speculation, I think what they'll probably do is include advertising in their free packages. So if you are using ChatGPT for free, that's fine, but you're going to get served adverts. And then I imagine if you pay $20 a month, then you will not get adverts, or you'll get less adverts. And if you're paying $200 a month, there won't be any adverts. So I imagine they're going to have a gradation in the same way that on YouTube, you can use YouTube for free. You can access any video you want, but if you're doing it for free, then you're going to get sent adverts. Whereas if you pay for YouTube Premium or Plus or whatever it's called, you won't be advertised to. I think they'll probably do something similar, which makes sense because a relatively small portion of people actually pay for ChatGPT, and they have 800 million users, and this is a way for them to basically generate revenue from those free users. For me personally, it will not affect me if this is true, because I pay for ChatGPT and I will continue to pay for ChatGPT. For the 800 million or the 750 million people out there who are not paying, there will be a choice whether they are willing to put up with the adverts. What I imagine will happen though, again, this is speculative, once one of these companies starts to provide adverts inside of their results, everyone else will follow. There is not going to be a safe haven. I think this is who blinks first. ChatGPT don't want to put adverts into ChatGPT first because people will be like, I'm not using this, I'm going to Gemini, or I'm going to Grok, or I'm going to Claude, or whatever, and there'll be a big pushback. However, as soon as one company has done it, I would expect in the next few months for all of the others to deploy something very similar. Like Gemini, who belong to Google, I'm sure this is very much on their plan because Google's revenue comes from search right now. They are a search-based advertising company and they need to shift that into Gemini. But again, they don't want to be the first ones to do that because as soon as they do, they lose trust and people go to OpenAI. So I think it doesn't really matter what we think. It's going to come to all of the AIs eventually. It's just who's going to introduce it first and who's going to be the most egregious. And will some people be a bit more conservative in their advertising because they don't want to make as much money? But it will come for all of the AIs eventually, unless you pay. And if you pay, you'll be able to clear out the adverts. That's my assumption here. I expect ChatGPT to be able to do the best price comparison. It can definitely do price comparison. So the ad companies, as long as they get the sale, I don't think they particularly mind. And it will be combined with things like price comparisons and coupon codes, for example. So if you're an advertising company, you might be able to generate a coupon code upon somebody prompting for a code for a certain product and insert that dynamically into that conversation. So again, for them, it's a sale. So even with stuff like Google Shopping, so Google Shopping allows you to do price comparison, but then they have sponsored results in there as well to push to the top. In fact, Google Shopping, you can bid and you can set dynamic pricing as well. So there are sophisticated tools to play around with pricing, with discounting in order to make that sale. And those will be made available to the advertisers in the same way that with Google AdWords, the whole kind of interface in the back, they give you that kind of power for couponing, for discounting, etc. Okay, I wanted to have a look at, there's this guy called Eric Hartford. If you've been on Twitter for the last couple of days, you would have seen this. Guy called Eric Hartford. I don't quite know what he does. We make AI models. A few days ago, his ChatGPT account was completely deleted and his appeal was denied with no considering, no process. All my history is gone, no chance to export and save my data. I'm completely innocent of any wrongdoing. I have absolutely no idea why this would happen. So this kind of kicked off. This got 500,000 views. Apparently he's paying him $200 a month and that wasn't refunded. So today, a couple of hours ago, he got his account reinstated and he got a message from ChatGPT saying, hey, thank you for your message and providing additional context around your work. We've reviewed your account, reversed the original decision and restored your access. Please note that unsolicited CBRN related safety testing is prohibited under OpenAI's usage policy. Now that is chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear. So if you are trying to make a dirty bomb, for example, you get kicked out of ChatGPT. So they're saying that's what he was testing. And in the first ban, they said the reason was weapons. So he was researching weapons. He denies this completely and he says that they are lying. So whether or not this Eric Hartford guy is for real or not is beside the point. We do need to take into account that he runs something called the Dolphin Distributed Inference Network, which he launched yesterday, which is about distributed AI. So it's an antidote to centralized tyrannies. He does have a product, it looks like, which is anti-closed systems like OpenAI. So we do need to take everything he says with a pinch of salt. What I wanted to point out is irrelevant to Eric Hartford, whatever he did or didn't do. What I wanted to point out is that OpenAI can shut down your account with no warning. So if you are building on OpenAI, if you're using their API to create software, if you are deploying that software for clients, for example, and it's connected to your ChatGPT account, if you are building a business on ChatGPT, or any of these kind of closed-sourced AI models, so it could be Anthropic, it could be Grok, it could be Gemini, you are always going to be at risk of the company deciding that you've done something wrong and just shutting everything down and you having no recourse. I think that is the takeaway here. And this guy managed to kick up enough fuss and he got seen by 500,000 people, and OpenAI, obviously the PR department, ooh, this is bad, we need to deal with this, and he got everything reversed. For most people, they're not going to be able to get that much visibility, they're not going to get that much clout and be able to kick up enough of a fuss to have their problem remedied. So I just thought this was a really useful reminder that when you are building, when you're creating businesses and software using a closed system, for whatever reason that access is cut off and you are removed from that ecosystem, then you are sod out of luck, basically. We saw with Sora a couple of weeks ago, if you deleted your Sora account, it would also delete your ChatGPT account, including all your API access. So we do need to be very careful when we're building businesses around these products as a supply, because it could be removed from us at any point. You need to build that into your risk assessment when you are building. I'm saying this because I'm now building a new tool every single day. Yesterday I built a little workshop creating tool On Monday, I built a parking ticket contesting application, etc., etc. So I'm building a lot more, which has been an awful lot of fun. And if you are not building, I highly recommend checking out Vibe Coding. It is not technical, and it allows you to create things from scratch. And I know a lot of people like the idea of it, but they haven't tried it yet. And it really is quite exciting. Building things every single day has been fantastic. I joined Marcin's AI builders after your post. Cool, Damien. 70% done with my MVP after only a week. What are you building? I'm very interested to hear. So I've been building one thing every single day. So the thing that I built on Monday, just need to find it. There we go. appealparkingticket.co.uk allows you to contest a parking ticket. Because I found out that the private parking ticket industry in the UK is about £1 billion a year. Only 0.58% of parking tickets are contested. But if you do contest that parking ticket, you will win 40% of the time. The reason people don't contest it is because they don't know how to do the paperwork. They get confused about the whole kind of legal proceedings. So I built a tool which allows you to take a photo of your parking ticket. It uses that, scans in all the information. It allows you to select why you think it's an unfair parking ticket and add extra evidence or tell your story, and then it writes it all up for you in a nice letter which is written in the correct format for contesting a parking ticket. And I've created this for free to give it away. I found other businesses who do this, but they either charge you for creating this contest letter, which I'm not doing, or they have really weird business models like a subscription, charging you £20 a month to be able to generate parking ticket contest letters. But that requires you to think, oh, I'm going to be getting parking tickets, one parking ticket a month. So what I've done is just opened it up and made it free so that people can go ahead and use it. Because I think it's quite a predatory industry where they do things like they hang out in hospital car parks and then they have fees that go up if you don't pay quickly. So they put the pressure on you to pay quickly, otherwise you'll have to pay more. So the whole industry is a bit nasty. Then it's also been growing. It's grown 25% in the last 3 years. So that means somebody is aggressively trying to ramp up these parking tickets in order to make money. And the industry is $1 billion. So I use Vibe Coding to throw together just a little tool to help people push back on that, which I think it's so exciting that we can use Vibe Coding to do this kind of stuff. And I threw this together in about half an hour, 45 minutes. Hopefully it will allow a few people to say F you to these private parking companies. That's my hope with this. Awesome. So I'm going to finish up. Just wanted to flag up aiwithkyle.com, which is my website, especially the AI learning guide down in the resources at the bottom here. There's a whole bunch of different resources. How to get Sora code, built a guide for you. Ultimate AI learning guide that goes through all of the different resources for learning how to use artificial intelligence. I've also built lots of tools that you can use as well. AI business quiz telling you which AI business should you start, workshop plan, sales block diagnosis, etc. I'm building lots and lots of stuff to put in there to help you guys. And there's a catalogue of God knows how many, I think 100 or so playbooks to help you get started building a business of artificial intelligence. So make sure you go and check out aiwithkyle.com. It's still a work in progress, so if you do hit broken links or missing images, do say, because I'm still fixing it up. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm at a conference. If you are in the UK, so if you're in London in particular, AI for the Rest of Us actually started today. So maybe you're already there now. Shouldn't be watching this if you are. But I'm going to be speaking on Thursday, 16th of October, talking about AI workshops and giving training to businesses and how you can start to do that. So if you are around, that's 11:30. I'll be speaking at the AI for the Rest of Us conference. And hopefully I'll see some of you there. Awesome. I'll catch up on Friday. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a lovely rest of the day.